Welcome to the Infinite Human Talk Show. And this is a short vlog about why sometimes psychics get things wrong. I want to address that. And I also want to address some of the choices that need to be made as you journey along your spiritual pathway. When you first begin to realize that there's more than your physical reality, you step into the astral plane or the astral world, which is the first other body encasing your body, and it's also what happens when you step out of your body. It's the plane that encases the planet Earth, and it's the area that also houses what we refer to as hell and heaven. It is also where you are karmically bound until you graduate from Earth School, move through all of your karma, and pass the cosmic barrier and become what is known as an ascended master, as a free citizen of the universe, as a Buddha, a Christ, a Siddhartha, and many of those who have gone before us and who are working with us, a great one. But until you have done your work and graduated, you are bound to the astral plane. The astral plane is a plane of illusion. It is, I liken it to Disneyland or World now. It's a lot of fun. Of course, if you get caught up in the lower astral, it's not. It really depends on your vibratory frequency as to where you're drawn. Of course, if you've lived a good life and, you're a good soul and you're a good person, you're going to go to what many people call paradise and heaven, and yes, it does exist. And you are greeted by Jesus or whatever you believe in. Of course, if you're, on the other side of the world, you'd be greeted on what, you believe in terms of what you've been raised as religiously. But what happens, because it is a world of illusion, and it is also the place where you go when you dream or if you have an out-of-body experience, but it can play tricks on you. People can pretend to be certain people, and that's why it's always good if you have lucidity or awareness in your dreams to call them by name, and you'll notice sometimes that their faces change because they're not allowed to play tricks on you if you have the awareness to call them by their name and to ask them to be truthful. A lot of times people who work in and I'll say the psychic realm are only vibrating at that frequency, and they do their readings or gather their information from that realm. And as I said, it is a realm of illusion, so they might pick up information from an entity or from your guides that are from that realm. And sometimes people have told me that they come from psychics that give them detailed information about things that are going to happen to them. For example, someone told me that someone said their husband was going to be in a terrible car accident and, blah, 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 blah. And especially when it's really detailed information like that and it's just going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I really challenge you to think about it and also check inside yourself and see if it resonates within you. Of course, if you're resonating at the astral plane yourself, then it's going to be kind of confusing for you because you're not going to be sure either because you're coming from that place of illusion. But most likely people that come from a higher vibration don't give all that kind of detailed information, especially in predicting the future. Of course, if you're going to a medium, it's probably a good thing that they are living in that astral plane, because most of the people that you know that have passed on have probably gone to heaven, and they can easily tune into those entities because they're there. They just don't have a physical body. And so that's a good thing. So it really depends on what your intention is. Now, if you have an intention of really wanting to finish up in this lifetime and to graduate and to go home, if any of this at some level makes sense to you or just feels right to you, maybe you don't actually understand what beautiful bird that just flew by, sorry. That's a sign. You want to fly home. You want to go home, and if that feels right to you, then you want to choose as your teachers, your spiritual teachers, or teacher, or as your counselors, as your intuitive counselors, or whoever you can that resonates at the highest level and that resonates inside of you. And you want to also try to raise your vibration as you journey forward. It's okay if you start at the astral level. And at the astral level, especially meditation is a good way to move your vibration forward. At the astral level, you will see many things in form. You will see lots of colors, and it will be very dramatic. As you progress into higher vibrations, as you probably know, even just from I say the Bible, it says first, there was nothing, and then there was the Word. So I always try to guide people eventually into the void, which is nothing. Because really that is the most powerful place to be. And then you notice as you raise your vibration and move past the karmic barrier, it is formless. There are colors, but there are sounds. Sounds are the most important guideposts as you move into the higher vibrations, because first there's only sound. And then that manifests eventually into form and matter. So it's a lower vibration that sees matter, and you eventually become less distracted by the eye candy of the world, and you become more attuned into the vibrations of things. And so as you do that, you will also seek out higher forms of energy and be drawn to people and things more from an energetic point of view. So when you go to choose people and objects, maybe crystals or counselors, psychics, or whatever you want to call them, intuitive counselors, you want to get a sense. Maybe you're at a psychic fair or a festival. Go with who you feel drawn to in an intuitive level. Or if you're choosing someone, maybe you see a picture or a name. Sometimes I use my hand to feel the vibration of that name. Or if you're drawn to the eyes of that person in the photo, that they're the windows of the soul. But try to choose people from that, from where they resonate with you. That's the best choice I can give you as you make your choices from a soul level. And I think that will always help. And of course, you never know. One of my favorite movies, I always mention a movie, but is always by Steven Spielberg. It's kind of a sleeper, but there's Richard Dreyfuss is acting as a guide, because he's disembodied. He's lost his life, and he's giving directions, but actually it comes out from just a bum that interprets it correctly. So you can sometimes hear things just from, and I'm going to actually give a talk about that, about symbols and how the universe and your guides and the Creator talks to you through signs and symbols, and anyone could be a bum on the street, or just someone that you meet at a party that just starts talking about maybe some place you're supposed to move to, and they keep mentioning Denver, 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 or a postcard drops on the ground in front of you, or believe me, I've had things like that happen to me. So just once you open yourself up to your own intuitive voice, the universe becomes your teacher and guide. So